So
Okay.
I would say some of my tendencies are to come over the top too.
Yeah. I think after watching you swing a few times, I've noticed something in your takeaway where it could be a little bit more fundamental to allow for a more consistent swing.
Okay.
If you'll let me demonstrate here. I think what's happening is when you take the club away that your wrists break and they go like this.
Okay.
And it's hard to do that the same every time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So if you were to, say, bring the club back in a straight, more fundamental manner, where your wrists are not as active,
Right.
I think you would.
More like shoulders.
I think
then.
you would. Yeah. I think you would benefit a lot from. It's just difficult to get the wrist to hinge in the same spot every time.
Right.
You know,
same
it's just
time. Yeah.
it's another motion that you could knock out and have more consistent results.
Okay.
So
So I definitely noticed in just the hour lesson we had that I felt more consistent. I felt like I had more control of the club, which probably leads to more consistency. So I definitely think the takeaway drill is something I'll practice in the next week before our next lesson, and even use it, like on the course just before I hit, bringing it back a couple times and then actually swinging through. So I do like the takeaway drill.
I think to get you to hit the ball farther, we can focus on getting your club head speed higher and your swing speed a little higher.
Okay.
That can be obtained just training your body to move faster. I think after looking at your swing for the times that I have, I think what happens is maybe you decelerate into the ball, or you're just scared about more hitting it straight than you are getting it farther.
Right. Yeah.
So you're trying to control it a little bit more.
And I've actually noticed that in my short game too, like decelerating, like 100 yards and in, I don't want to miss the green, so I'm trying so hard to be so precise, and then I end up decelerating, and then it's just bad. So I think I noticed that in short game too, if we could work on that sometime.
Yeah, gotcha. So this shot here calls for accuracy off the tee, obviously more than distance.
Yep.
So the 3-wood I think is a good choice when picking what you're going to use off the tee. So that's good. Do you usually miss one way or the other on this hole?
Usually on this hole I try and aim a little bit farther right, just because I don't want to have all of the trees over here in play.
Okay.
But with my 3-wood, I know it seems kind of backwards that I choose my 3-wood on this hole, but sometimes I will pull my 3-wood. But yeah, like on this hole, like I said, I try and aim farther right just because of the way it's set up.
Okay, that's good. A big part of tee shots, I think, is just picturing the shot. So you like to aim farther right because you think you're going to miss it left, right?
Right.
And this is where we can tie together that takeaway drill that we did when we started, because you tended to pull the ball or hook, right? So the takeaway drill hopefully change the path of your club, and you're able to hit more straight shots now. Something I want you to maybe focus on is, and we covered it in full swing, was you not decelerating through the ball, right?
Right.
Remember the whoosh drill, it got you to really get that club through and hit a good solid shot. That would come into effect here. I think maybe what happens is all you're thinking about with this shot is don't hit it in the water.
Right.
And that's exactly what ends up happening, right?
You're right.
Look at that. Center
A
of the
little
green.
farther left than I wanted, but good.
That's good. Awesome. So does that kind of make sense in your head?
Yeah. Yeah.
Picking where the ball should end up, or where you want the ball to end up, as opposed to I don't want it to go in a certain spot.
Right. Thinking the positive, not don't go out of bounds or don't go in the water.